this camp life, this camp life, this camp life. Yeah, we live this camp life. Yeah, we prophesy 365 for this camp life, this camp life.
Boots lace, you know we came to ride. All on your block, don't care about the odds. This truth is do or die. Come crown the kings and watch how we bling. We here 365. While you and your dreams, we on the scene, saving our people's lives.
What a time to be alive when it's going down. I got both eyes on the same prize. If you're trying to build, then it's hammer time.
Hey sis, Medusa, that's your name, right? Why do you get high? Depressed. Give me Luke, Spirit is upon me, 14. Because this is what we out here. We're out here to heal our people. Because our people are depressed. Our people are brokenhearted. Our people out here doing all these different things because we don't have no hope in this land. All right? Read this.
Luke chapter 4, verse 18. The Spirit of the Lord is upon me, because he hath appointed me to preach the gospel to the poor.
So the poor is the 12 tribes of Israel, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and natives. That's who we are out here to reach. Jesus Christ said, go and teach the gospel to the poor. Have you ever heard of a people who's been rich? That is us. We never are rich people, totally. Right? Read on.
He hath sent me to heal the brokenhearted.
To heal the what?
Brokenhearted.
See, that is to heal the brokenhearted. That's what we out here to do. You know why? Because God is a black man. Jesus Christ is a black man. We weren't taught that. We weren't taught that. So you know what we do? Our outlook in this place is what? Turmoil, downtrodden, oppression. Everything else we turn it to because we don't know who we truly are. Read on.
To preach deliverance to the captive.
It says preach deliverance to who?
The captive.
Now I'm going to ask you a question. It says deliverance to the captive, sis. How did we get to America? How did we get to America? You got to think. I'm trying to get in your mind so you get off that high. How did we get to America? By boat. All right, let's read it. Read it in the Bible. Read.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
That word Egypt means slavery. Was it a slave boat that we came on, a slave ship?
Yes, it was.
Look right here. You see this? This is what the Bible says who we are. This is our nationality. This is how we understand that. Because what happened in history was prophesied by Moses. And guess what? That shows us that we're God's chosen people. And if that's the case, then how does Jesus Christ look, sis? How does he look? All praises. So you saying this is not Jesus? All right, let's read it. Read.
Revelation chapter 1, verse 14.
Now listen up, sis. This is a very clear description of what Jesus Christ looked. Because our oppressors brought us to this land, colonized us in other lands, oppressed us, gave us their religion, and then beat our names out of us. And then now we have assimilated into society and took everything took all their philosophies, including the drugs and all these things, to take us away from this stupor that we're in. But we got to come out of that. We can't turn to these things, because guess what you're doing? You're destroying your body, sis. We out here to show you the true love. Read.
His head and his hairs were white like wool.
Just like your hair right there, it has woolly hair because you got to braid it up. It says wool, wool. Just like my hair. Wool, just like what is it called? A sheep. Just like that, afro hair. That's the hair of Jesus the Christ. Read on.
As white as snow. And his eyes were as a flame of fire. And his feet.
And his feet. Is your feet the same color as your face? The color. The complexion, right? Right, it's the same color, right? Read on.
And his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burned in a furnace.
As if it burned in a furnace. So brass, or you burn anything, what color turn? If you burn anything, brown or black, that's how Jesus Christ looked like. So look, sis, this is the image. That's what we have to understand, is Jesus Christ is a black man according to the Bible. These are nothing but lies we've been taught here. That's why we don't think of it. That's why there's no value in us. Get Deuteronomy 7:6. That's what we just read. Yep. And his feet. Right. as if they burned in the furnace. That's because guess what? He talked loud and with authority. That's the same way that we come out here. Because guess what? In the Christian church, do you ever see a pastor come out to the people and say, oh, I'm going to come out there and help you guys out. I'm going to help give y'all the message from what God has given me? Or you got to go in that church and give him some tithes and offering to get it. And he's not giving you the true message because he's giving you this. This is the thing that continues to destroy the minds and hearts of our people. This image. That's why there's no value. But guess what? This is what God says about the 12 tribes of Israel, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and natives. Read.
Deuteronomy chapter 7 verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself.
It says chosen you to be a special people unto himself. My question is, what's your favorite color?
What's your color of your blood?
Sir, hold on. I'm talking to my sister. I'm not talking to you. You can wait. So, what is your favorite color, sis?
We all the same.
Your favorite color? Blue? Blue. So my question is, could I tell you that your favorite color is, I don't know, orange? I can't change your opinion about your favorite color, correct? Right, because it's yours. That's how God feels about his people. Let's read it again. Let's read it again.
For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God.
The so-called blacks, Hispanics, and natives are holy unto God. We're going to get hit the image of God as well. Read.
The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself.
What?
Above.
What?
Above.
What?
Above.
In America, we were told we're 3/5 of a man.
Above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
That's in the Bible.
That's
why were we taught that? Because the oppressors that we brought here and we learned their doctrine have nothing good to teach us at all. That's why we have to No, don't worry about him, sis. Don't worry about him. Pay attention right here. Pay attention right here, sis. He ain't doing nothing. Listen, God said that we are above all people that are upon the face of the earth. Why in America they try to teach us that we are equal to everybody? God says that we are what? Above all people. Now I'm going to ask you a question. Who's smarter? Who runs faster? Who's the most educated? Who does everything better in this earth? We do, right? So how are we equal to anybody in this planet? Thank you. Read it again.
Deuteronomy chapter 7 verse 6.
Sister right there in the brown pants. What we're going over is how God feels about his chosen race, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and natives. God's chosen people, the Israelites. Read.
For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself.
What?
Above.
What?
Above.
Equal to, as America says.
Above.
3/5 of a man.
Above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
If you know that about yourself, you won't hold yourself to getting high. You know why? Because you know that you're better than them. But we weren't taught this. So guess what we do? We go after these things to appease that brokenness inside of us. But we're out here to restore our nation. We out here that's going to go against all this matter of evil, what this nation has created and allowed us to get into. Now give me Daniel chapter 7 and verse 9. Because we're going to get what the Most High God, who created all this stuff via his son, looks like. Read.
Daniel chapter 7 verse 9. I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit.
It says the Ancient of Days did sit. I mean, he sat down on his throne because he has a butt, he has a head, he has arms, he has feet, he has a whole body. Read.
Whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head.
And the hair of his head is what?
Like the pure wool.
Like pure wool, just like Jesus Christ, just like your hair. So now we have to understand is, if God looks like that, Christ looks like that, his people look like that, we all are the same. You see that? Guess what? We're not the same as the so-called white race. We're above them. We're not the same as the Indian race. We're above them. We're not the same as the Chinese race. We're above them. Guess what? We have to know these things. Wisdom of Solomon 13 verse 3. Wisdom of Solomon 13 verse 3. Because we must understand how good of a feeling that is. We must have that pride in ourselves so we won't go after these things. Read.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 13, verse 3. With whose beauty, if they being delighted, took them to be gods.
Took them to be what?
Gods.
So guess what? Read.
Let them know how much better.
It says, let them know, the 12 tribes of Israel, how much better what?
The Lord of them is. For the first author of beauty hath created them.
It says the first author of beauty has created them. That means you are after the very image of what God did. The men are the image of God, right? The women are the image of us. So the glory of the woman only gets exalted through her man. So guess what? We're the men out here doing this. Psalms 94:16. We must understand this. The things that we're doing, we're going to change our nation. We got to come up out of these things that we're doing. Read.
Psalm chapter 94, verse 16. Who will rise up for me against the evildoers?
Now I'm going to ask you a question. Is there evil in our community, sis? No evil. No evil. Okay, let me ask you a question. Is rape evil? Is that going on in our community? Okay, so what about I don't know, drugs? That's evil, right? Let's read it again.
Who will rise up for me against the evildoers? Or who will stand up for me against the workers of iniquity?
Says who's going to stand up for me against the workers of iniquity? Everything that we've been taught in this world has been against God. Did you know that did you know that being drunk is against God? Look, let's get it. Give me 1 Samuel 15. I'm going to show you what drunk, or even getting high. Because guess what it's doing? You're changing the state of your mind. And this is what they compared it to. Read.
1 Samuel chapter 15, verse 23. For rebellion is as a sin of witchcraft, and stubbornness is as iniquity and idolatry. Because thou hast rejected the word of the Lord, he has also rejected thee from being king.
That's exactly what it is. You reject the word of the Lord, so now guess what? You're stubborn. That is your idolatry. That is the same sin as witchcraft. So guess what? If you're in that mindset, you got to change. You got to understand that the reality of what we live in is because of what we did. Give me Deuteronomy 28, verse 15. This is what has happened, and these are the results of us in this condition now. Read.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
Do our people listen to God, sis? Do you think so? So, they listen to this man. They don't listen to this man. Because guess what? Get Exodus 20 and verse 8. Because this right here they don't do. Read.
Exodus chapter 20, verse 8. Remember the Sabbath day.
When is the Sabbath, sis? You say Sunday, right? That's what this man said. Let's read.
To keep it holy.
You got to keep the Sabbath holy. It's going to explain when it is. Read.
6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work. But the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God.
When is the seventh day, sis? The seventh day. When is the seventh day of the week? Okay, I'm gonna ask you a question. What day is the first day of the week? No. Sunday, right? So we got Sunday. Okay, good. So read it again.
Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work. But the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God.
It says the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. So if you go to church or you go and do what you keep your Sabbath on Sunday, are you listening to this? Or are you listening to what Jesus Christ said through Moses? So when you got to keep the Sabbath then? On Saturday, right, sis? On the seventh day of the week. Because guess what? That was ordained by God. Not Sunday worship. Because that's what the first day of the week goes into, is Sunday pagan worship. That's where now the question is this: do our people listen to God? You can answer this clearly and say what? No. All praises. Deuteronomy 28:15. Read.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
It says, all the curses shall come upon you and overtake you. Are we a blessed or a cursed people? We're blessed. Okay. I understand what you're saying. In our condition,
Actually, we're cursed.
we're cursed. Why do you say we're cursed?
Because that's what these white people do it.
Thank you. Read verse 37.
Verse 30,
32.
verse 32.
Now, this is one of the curses, what God said will happen to his chosen people for not doing his laws, for not being obedient unto him, to being high, to being fornicators, to being adulterers, to being and worshiping other gods. This is what will happen. Guess what? You know your pants, what you got on, that's going against God as well. This man said, come as you are. God said, put on a dress, a modest dress at that. God said, you're a princess. You don't supposed to be on this ground. You know what? Give me Deuteronomy, give me 28 and verse, what is it, 56? Because it says, soles of their feet, the women.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 56. The tender and delicate woman among you, which would not venture to set the sole of her foot upon the ground.
All right, sis, get up. Let me ask you a question. Listen to this. Come on, sis. Pay attention. We're trying to get you out of the condition. All right? Listen what the Bible says.
The tender and delicate woman among you.
It says the tender and delicate woman are among us. You supposed to be tender and delicate, but now our women are rough. They like going up in men's face. That's shameless. That right there is not the attributes of what you're supposed to be. You're supposed to be a princess. You're supposed to be having a dress on. People supposed to do this to you. Read.
Which will not venture to set the sole of her foot upon the ground.
The sole of your foot don't supposed to be on the ground. That, you know, when you see the movies and you see the women being carried, this is what they get it from. Us. That's how our women were. They were carried by, guess whom? Their slaves.
We used to scream black power while heroin was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission. Minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold. From Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.